service. We're ready to begin our service this morning, and it's an honor to have everyone here. We have a lot to celebrate today. Of course, Shabbat and our wonderful bat mitzvah mi'alavich. So to begin our service, I invite you to take our prayer books, our Siddur Lev Shalem, and we turn to page 147 as Cantor Goldman will lead us in the prayer Shochenad, page 147.
שוכנעת מרום וקדוש שמו וכתוב רנינו צדיקים באדוני לישרים נבטלה בפי ישרים תתהלל ובדברי צדיקים תתברך ובלשון חסידים תתרומם ובקרב קדושים תתקדש ובמחלות רבבות עמך בית ישראל ברינה יפאר שמך אלוקינו בכל דברו שכן חובת כל היצרים לפניך אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו להודות להלל לשבח לפאר ללמם להדל לברך להלל וקלס על כל דברי שירות ותשבחות דוד בן ישי עבדך משיחך ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו ברכות והודאות מעתה ועד עולם ברוך אתה אדוני אל מלך גדול בתשבחות אל ההודעות אדון הנפלאות הבוחר בשירי זמרה מלך אלכי העולמים.
Please rise, page 148.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה אמן בעלמא דברה חירותי וימלך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי זכור בית ישראל בעגלה בזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן בעגלה בזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך ויתהבה ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה ברכו לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ויאמרו אמן ויאמרו אמן ויאמרו אמן ויאמרו אמן אמן.
Page 149.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach Baruch Adonai Hamevarach Leolam Vaed Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Yortzer or uvorei Hoshe Osei shalom Uvorei et hakol
You may be seated. And we continue now on page 150 towards the bottom of the page.
אין כערכך אדוני אלוהינו בעולם הזה, ואין צורותך מלכנו לחיי העולם הבא. אפס פיתך פה לימות המשיח, ואין דומה לך מושיענו לתחיית המתים.
Page 151.
אלא אדון על כל המעשים, ברוך ומבורך בפי כל נשמה, גודלו וטובו מלא עולם, דעת ותבונה סובבים אותו, המתגאה חיות הקודש ונדר בכבוד, על המרכבה זכות ומישור, לפני חיסו חסד ורחמים לפני כבודו, טובים מאורו שברא אלוהינו יצרם בדעת, מבינה ובשכל, כוח וגבורה נתן בהם, להיות מושלים בקרב תבל, מלאים זיו ופיקים, לא גנאי זיוון, בכל העולם צמחים בצאתם, וששים לבואם, עושים בהם הרצון קולנם, פאר וכבוד נותנים לשמור, זוהר ורינה לזכר מלכותו, קרא לשמש ויזרח אור, רער וקטקי צורת הלבנה, שבח נותנים לו כל צבא מרון תפארת וגדולה, סרחים ואופנים וחיות הקודש. Page 152. לאל השש בכל מעשים. תתברך מושיענו שבח מעשה ידיך, ואמוריהו שתתברוך הסלע. תתברך צורנו מכינו וגואלנו.
153.
כולם אהובים, כולם ברורים, כולם גיבורים, וכולם עושים בהם על ורע רצון קונם, וכולם פותחים את פיהם בקדושה וטהרה, בשירה ובזמרה ובזמרה, בשירה ובזמרה ובזמרה, מברכים ושבחים ומפרים ומריצים ומקדישים וממליכים את שם האל המלך הגדול הגיבור והנורא, קדוש הוא. וכולם מקבלים עליהם עול מלכות שמיים זה מזה, ונותנים רשות זה לזה, להשיס בנחת רוח, בשפה ברורה ועמל קדושה. כולם כחיירונים ואומרים ביראה, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. ואופנים וחיות הקודש ורעש גדול מתנשאים לעומתם שרפים, לעומתם משבחים ואומרים, ברוך כבוד אדוני מכל מול. לאל ברוך לימודיתנו. אור חדש על ציון, על ציון תאיר, ונזכר כולנו מהרה לאורו. אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכר כולנו מהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות.
154.
אהבה רבה אהבתנו, אדוני אלוהינו, חמלה גדולה ותורה, ותלמדם חוקי חיים, כן תכוננו תלמדנו, אבינו אב הרחמן, המרחם רחם עלינו, ותן בליבנו להבין ולהשכיל לשמוע, ללמוד וללמד, לשמוע ולעשות, ולקיים את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה, והאר עינינו בתורתך, ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך, ויחד לבבינו לאהבה וליראה את שמך, ולא נבוש לעולם ועד, ולא נבוש לעולם ועד, כי בשם הקודשך הגדול והנורא בצפון, נגילה ונשמחה, נגילה ונשמחה בישועתך, והביאנו לשלום מארבע כנפות הארץ, ותוליכנו כל מיעוט לארצנו, כי אל פשוטת ובנו ובחרת מכל עם ולשון, וקרבתנו לשמך הגדול, סלע באמת להודות לך וליחדך באהבה. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meotecha, v'chayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha, v'shinatam levanecha v'divartam ba'am b'shivtecha b'veitecha ulechtecha v'derech ushalmecha uvkumecha ushartam leot al yadecha, v'chayu letotafo b'neinecha uchtaktam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha.
We continue silently in Hebrew or English to the middle of page 156.
ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ועשו לכם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף את עיר תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית וריתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם באמת. לדור ודור הוא קיים ושמו קיים וכיסו נכון ומלכותו ואמונתו לעד קיימת.
The top of 157.
אמת שטהרנו אלוהינו ולאבי אבותינו, מלכנו מלך אבותינו, הגואל לכופרתנו, יוצרנו צור ישועתנו, ברינו מצילנו מעולם שמך, אין אלוהים זולתך, עזרת אבותינו עצור מעולם. תהילות לעליון ברוך ומבורך, משה בני ישראל לחיים שירה ושמחה ורבה ואמרו כולם. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. שירה חדשה שבחוקי עולים, לשמך שפת היום. יחד כולם יעודו וימליכו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צור
Please rise.
ישראל, כל מעבר זרועת ישראל, עובדי חינומך, יהודה וישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
We join with our Bat Mitzvah Mia with the opening blessings of the Shacharit Amidah, page 159.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol v'Zocher Hastei Avot, Umevi Goel Livnei B'neihem Leman Shemo Yahava. Melech Ozer Ufoked Umoshia Umakein, Baruch atah Adonai Megain Avraham Ufoked Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mehaye Metim Atah Rav Lehoshia. Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye Metim Berachamim Rabim, Samech Noflim Verofei Holim, Umati Urasurim, Umekayem Emunata Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umidal Melech, Melech Memit, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanata Lechachayo Metim, Baruch Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh HaMeitim.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בישמי מרום, ככתוב ביד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו. אז בקול רעש גדול אדיר וחזק משמיעים קול, אז בקול רעש גדול אדיר וחזק משמיעים קול, מתנשאים לעומת שרפים, מתנשאים לעומת שרפים, לעומתם ברוך יאמרו, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו, ממקומך מלכנו תופיע, ממקומך מלכנו תופיע, ותמלוך עלינו, ותמלוך עלינו, כי מחכים אנחנו לך. מתי תמלוך בציון, בקרוב בימינו לעולם ועד תשכון, תתגדל ותתקדש בתוך ירושלים עירך, לדור ודור ונצח נצחים, ועינינו תראינה מלכותך, כדבר אמור בשירי עוזך, על ידי דוד משיח צדקך, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה.
לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גלך, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש, ושיבך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לא ימוש לעולם ועד. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גלך, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גלך, כי אל מלך גדול, גדול וקדוש, גדול וקדוש אתה, ברוך אתה, אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue silently in Hebrew or English to 166. When you have finished the Amidah, you may be seated, and we will continue with the Kaddish Shalem on page 167.
יתקרא שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה קירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובמחון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה בזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן, יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם עולם ועוד מיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתעשה, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמי קודשה. בריחו לילה מן כל בחצה ושירתה, צוש בחצה ונחמתה, דמיר על מעל מעל ואמרו אמן. תתכבות לא תהונו ותלכו ישראל, קודם עבור נביא שמעיה, ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום הרבה מן שמעיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו amen.
So good Shabbos again, everyone. We're ready to begin our Torah service this morning. So just a few announcements. First, if you have an aliyah or an ark opening during our Torah service this morning, I'll ask if you come sit over here in this section of our sanctuary so our Gabbim can find you at the appropriate times. I'm also going to ask all our B'nai Mitzvah students, all our current 7th graders, to come move and sit over here in this section of our sanctuary. You'll see a few rows that are marked over there. If you guys could move over there and sit over there, that way Cantor Goldman can be there to answer any questions you have and be there to help you as we go through the service, because soon you'll be leading a service. So even if you've already had your bar mitzvah, I ask all our 7th graders come sit over there in this section. You'll see a few rows over there that are marked, and one of our Gabbim can show you where to go. And so now we're ready to begin our Torah service this morning. And also a reminder to silence your cell phones as we go through our service this morning. Page 168, Ein Kamocha.
אין כמוך ואלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך, מלכותך מלכות כל העמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז למויתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. אבי רחמים היטיב ברצונך את ציון. תבנה חומות ירושלים, תבנה חומות ירושלים. כי בכל לבד בטחנו, מלך ערם ונישא, אדון עולמי.
Please rise.
ויהי בצהרון ויאמר משה, קומה אדוני ויפוצו אויביך וינוסו מצניך מפניך. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה,
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai.
And you may be seated. And I invite you to turn to page 769 in our Eitz Chaim, which is our Torah and commentary for this morning. And there we begin at the top of the page. We're beginning a new book of the Torah, the fourth book of the Torah, book of Bamidbar, which literally means in the desert. And there's many, many, of course, explanations of why the desert, why the wilderness of Sinai. But I want to offer one reminder. The rabbis tell us of why the importance of this book as we go through the next several weeks and read the fourth book of the 5 books of Moses. And one of the explanations the rabbis tell us, that's a reminder to us that the Torah was given in the Sinai. As important as the land of Israel is to the Jewish people, the Torah wasn't given in the land of Israel, but rather it was given in the wilderness of Sinai. And perhaps a reminder to us, to the Jewish people, that it's inherent on us, it's a commandment upon us, the Jewish people, to share the values and the lessons of God's Torah with all people. It's not just ours to hold, it is our inheritance, but it's also our responsibility to share God's blessings with others. And so now as we go through this book, I'll have a couple explanations to offer, and I ask you to follow along and to consider to yourselves as we go through our reading this morning, what am I doing not only to follow Judaism myself, but to share Jewish values with my family and friends and even my non-Jewish friends and colleagues? What values and the tradition do I inherit, and which values do I cherish that I'm sharing with all others? Also, as we go through our Torah portion this morning, I want to point out these 2 beautiful taluses here up on the bima. Jessica and Brian asked that we share these taluses. They are their fathers, Thomas and Michael. And I know they're with us in spirit this morning as their granddaughter becomes a bat mitzvah. And so now let's read the portion for this week, Bamidbar, page 769, and we begin at the very top of the page.
V'yazor, v'yagem v'yoshia l'kol ha'kosim bo v'namar, amen. Hakol avugod Eloheinu nuch v'dra, yamdu rishon, baruch shenatan toilem Yisrael b'kdushato, v'yatem advekim b'Adonai Elohechem, chayim kolchem hayom.
For the first Aliyah, we call Mia's Bubby, Sandy Dula, together with her great uncle, Marvin Bielik. The readers are Beth Sharon Balkore, Rabbi Danny Horowitz.
Baruch Hu es Adonai HaBarach. Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam V'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'nosan Lanu es Toraso. Baruch Atah Adonai Nosein HaTorah.
Amen. Vaydaber Adonai El Moshe B'midbar Sinai B'yom Moed B'echad Achodesh Hasheni B'shana Hasheni L'tzeitam Me'eretz Mitzrayim Lemor Su At Rosh Kol Adab B'nei Yisrael L'mishpotam L'virvotam L'mispar Shemot Kol Zachar L'gugalotam Miben Esrim Shana B'malach Koyotzei Tzva B'Yisrael Tifkedu Otam L'tzivotam Atav Yadron V'itchem Yehu Ish Ish Lamate Ish Rosh Levet Avotav
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Notan Lanu Torah Emes V'chayei Olam Netabas L'chenu Baruch Atah Adonai Nosein HaTorah.
So over the next several aliyot, we'll see really the listing of the different tribes. It's a census, if you will, a counting of the numbers of people that were in the wilderness at that time. And there's many explanations of why we do this. As we'll go through the aliyot, we'll see the different listing of the tribes and the number of people that are listed. And I want to offer three explanations, one in between each aliyah. The first one, it was important to do this in order to remind us of order and organization. Numbering the tribes establishes a sense of order and organization within the community of Israel. This reflects the divine command to Moses to take a census of the people as a way to ensure that the community is structured and prepared for the various tasks or responsibilities they will each have. And I think for us, from a spiritual perspective, this emphasis on order can symbolize the importance of discipline, accountability, and harmony in one's spiritual journey. Let us now continue the second aliyah, page 770.
Yamdu Sheni.
For the second Aliyah, we call Mia's Mimi, Elisa Lavish, together with her great uncle, Alan Ehrenstein.
Baruch Atah Adonai HaBarach.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'atan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notain HaTorah.
Amen. V'eileh Shemot HaNashim Asher Yamdu Itchem L'Ruvein Elitzur Ben Shteyor L'Shimon Shlumiel Ben Surishadai L'Yehuda Nachshon Ben Aminadav L'Yisachar Netanel Ben Suar L'Zvulun Eliab Ben Chelon L'Ivnei Yosef L'Ephraim Elisham Ben Amihud L'Imnashe Gamliel Ben Peratzur L'Vinyamin Avidam Ben Gidoni L'Dan Achiezer Ben Amishadai L'Asher Bogiel Ben Achran L'Gad El Yosab Ben Duel L'Naftali Achira Ben Einan Eilek Ruei Aidan Siemat Ervatam Rashi Alfei Yisrael
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'Hayei Olam Natah B'Toshinei. Adonai Notain HaTorah.
Another explanation of why we list each tribe is individuality and unity. Each tribe, as we'll now see, is listed separately, highlighting their unique identities and ancestral lineages. And this emphasis on individuality signifies that every person has a distinct role and purpose within the broader community. At the same time, the enumeration of tribes also highlights their unity as a collective nation. And I think from a spiritual standpoint, this can remind all of us as individuals, of our own unique spiritual gifts and callings, while all of us emphasizing the need for cooperation, support, and solidarity among believers. It's certainly an important reminder for our young that each of them has their own uniqueness, and there's a reason God brought each of them into this world. Let us now continue with the third Aliyah, page 771, verse 17.
Yom Du Shlishi.
For the third Aliyah, we call Great Aunt Gabby Siegel, together with cousins Jordana Siegel and Erica Siegel. The readers are members of the Beth Yeshurun Yad Squad, Rob Lane.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayikach Moshe va'Aharon et ha'anashim ha'ele asher nikvuhu b'shemot ve'et kol ha'edah hikilu be'echad bechodesh hasheni vayityaldu al mishpachotam levet avotam b'mispar shemo mi ben esrim shana v'mahala legulgelotam ka'asher siva Adonai et Moshe vayitpakadehem b'midbar Sinai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
And now before the fourth Aliyah, lastly, a third interpretation of why we go through the listing of each tribe. The rabbis remind us of divine appointment. The numbering of the tribes serves as a reminder that God has a specific purpose and plan for each tribe and every single individual. Each tribe is assigned a specific location and role within the larger community. And this can be seen as a reflection of divine providence and guidance in the lives of all the people. And from a spiritual perspective, I think it can encourage all of us to seek and align ourselves with God's purpose in our own lives, recognizing that we're all part of the larger tapestry of God's plan. And now let's continue with the fourth Aliyah, page 771, verses 20 through 27.
Yom Du Revi.
For the fourth Aliyah, cousins Julie and Dana Ehrenstein.
Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch Hu Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'tayeinu lanu v'tana lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayiyu v'nei Ruvain b'chor Yisrael toldotam l'mishpotam l'vedabotam v'mispar shemot l'gulgalotam kol zachar ben esrim shana v'mala kol yotzei tzva kudei hanamate Ruvain shisha v'arbaim elef kamesh meyot livnei Shimon toldotam l'mishpotam l'vedabotam v'kudah b'mispar shemot l'gulgalotam kol zachar ben esrim shana v'mala kol yotzei tzva kudei hanamate Shimon Tisha v'kamishim elef shlosh meyot Livnei God, Toldotan Mishkotan Verotam Mispar Shemot. Bibanas Rim Shanabamala Koyotzaitzava, Kude Hanamate God, Hamisha Viarbaim, Elevashesh Meot Hamishim, Livnei Yuda, Toldotan Mishkotan Verotam Mispar Shemot. Bibanas Rim Shanabamala Koyotzaitzava, Kude Hanamate Yuda, Arba Veshivim, Elef Veshesh Meot.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Yom Du Chamishi.
For the fifth Aliyah, we call Aunt and Uncle Wesley and Matt Lichtenstein. We're on page 772, verses 28 through 35.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Livnei Yisachar, Toldat Alamishkotan Levero, Atami Mispar Shemot. Libanas Rim Shanabamala, Koyotzaitzava, Kudeanamata Yisachar, Arba Avachamishim, Elef Yarba Mayot, Livnei Zulun, Toldat Alamishkotan Levero, Atami Mispar Shemot. Libanas Rim Shanabamala, Koyotzaitzava, Kudeanamata Zulun, Shiva Avachamishim, Elef Yarba Mayot, Livnei Yosef, Livnei Ephraim, Toldat Alamishkotan Levero, Atami Mispar Shemot. Libanas Rim Shanabamala, Koyotzaitzava, Kudeanamate Ephraim, Arbaim Elef Kamesh Mayot, Livnei Menashe, Toldat Alamishkotan Levero, Atami Mispar Shemot. Libanas Rim Shanabamala, Koyotzaitzava, Kudeanamate Menashe, Shnayim Ushloshim, Elef Umatayim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'ha'ei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
We'll now say a prayer for those who are ill in our congregation, among our family and friends. If you would like to add a name to our prayer list, please come forward now as we do the blessing for those who need a little extra assistance. Mi sheberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'Imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah hu yivarech v'yirpeh et hacholim ha'ela. May the God of our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, grant blessing and healing to the following members of our congregation, their family, and friends. Adiel Leibovitz, Ben Rosemarie, Adina Bat Basia, Aharon Ben Yosef, Ahava Shira Bat Chanalea, Amir James Ben Ofra, Ariel Ben Chayasara, Baruch Ben Yaakov, Batya Bat Esther, Benjamin Eliezer Ben Zalman, Chanamira Bat Elka Zleya, Chava Bela Bat Esther, Daniel Bat Noga, David Ben Basha, Ephraim Ben Devora, Eva Eliadora Bat Chaya Motel, Chana Brucha Bat Zalman Yehuda, Michael Bar Eliador of Aaron, Miriam Bat Rachel, Miriam Esther Bat Razel, Nesanel Ben Chenya, Shalom Yaakov Ben Tuba, Shendel Bat Yosefa, Shmuel Ben Devora Bela, Yocheved Sivya Bat Devora, Yosef Lev Ben Yonina Chaya Upesach Shalom, Yosef David Ben Dora, Yosef Ben Henya Gittel, Zipporah Bat Muriel, Yusra Abu Hakmeh, Linda Basuk, Vicky Cornejo, Marla Davidoff, John Flatowitz, Harvey Freiberg, Michael Frumovitz, Harriet Hajizadeh, Daniela Hempel, Virginia Hottenbach, Donata Henry, Marla Harkin, Howard Kaplan, Jimmy Lass, Martine Levine, Julia Mazo, Vicky Mitrani, Jordan and Jay's Mothersbaugh, Karen Nikolaevsky, Marcia and Jerry Pappert, Linda Rabinowitz, Rick Rosen, Norman Rosenthal, Harry Schachter, Julie Scheinthal, Brian Schultz, Frank Shaw, Phyllis Dydart, Andrea Stein, Debbie Stein, Charles Stennis, Charles Stubblefield, David Suffian, Lucia Susie, Ilya Sutton, Brenda and Bretta Warhay, Michael Wheeler, and Tina Zimmerman, and
Ruth Bat Abraham Vitzara.
Susan Pillar, Susie Kornblit, Myron Rosenberg.
Linda Hoffman.
Shalom Yaakov Ben Tube, Miriam Esther Basrezel.
Mark Cooperman, Harold Finkel, and Amelia Dewey.
Michael Lightman.
Freda Botsivia, Yosefa Miriam Bot Freda, Michael Brown, Barry Bruder, Brittany Williams, Annie Beck.
Judd Millman, Avram Fischel, Razel Devora.
V'et shara cholim b'kila kodesh so, HaKadosh Baruch Hu yimlei rachamim aleichem, l'achzikam l'rapotam, v'yishlach lahem me'erav fuah shlem b'mina shamayim, refuah nefesh, refuah guf, v'tok shar chol Yisrael, Shabbatim l'zok, refuah krov lavo, hashta b'gal azman kariv, v'nomar, Amen.
Yom Shishi.
For the sixth Aliyah, we call Aunt and Uncle Aaron and Jason Bush. We're now on page 772, verses 36 through 43.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Livnei Binyamin, Toldotan, Mishkotan, Leverbotam, V'mispar Shemot, V'ben Esrim Shana B'malach, Koyotzei Tzava, Kudei Hanamat Binyamin, Chamisha U'Shloshim, Elef Yarba Meyot, Livnei Dan, Toldotan, Mishkotan, Leverbotam, V'mispar Shemot, V'ben Esrim Shana B'malach, Koyotzei Tzava, Kudei Hanamat Dan, Shnayim Shishim, Elef Shva Meyot, Livnei Asher, Toldotan, Mishkotan, Leverbotam, Mispar Shemot, V'ben Esrim Shana B'malach, Koyotzei Tzva, Kudehin Mate Asher, Echad V'Arba'im, Elef Chamesh Meyot, B'nei Naphtali, Toldotan, Mishkotan, Leverbotam, Mispar Shemot, V'ben Esrim Shana B'malach, Koyotzei Tzva, Kudehin Mate Naphtali, Shosha V'Chamishim, Elef V'Arba Meyot.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Yom Shvi.
For the seventh Aliyah, we call Mia's very proud parents, Jessica and Brian Lavage. We're on page 773, verses 44 through 54.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Atah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Eile ha'pekudim asher Pakad Moshe v'Aaron U'Nesiyei Yisrael Shnei Masar Ish Yishechal V'Dervotav Vayiyu Kol Pekudei B'nei Yisrael V'Dervotam V'ben Esrim Shana V'Malach Yotzei Tzava B'Yisrael Vayiyu Kol HaPekudim Sheish Me'od Elef V'Shosh Elafim V'Chamesh Me'od V'Chamishim V'al V'yin L'matei Avotam Lo Hadbakdu B'Tocham V'Yidaber Adonai El Moshe Lemor Ed Matei Levi Lo Tifkod V'Et Rosham Lo Tisa B'Toch B'nei Yisrael V'Ata Hafkedet Halviyim Amishkan Haidut V'Al Kol Kelav V'Al Kol Asher Lo Hema Yisrael ויסעו את המשכן ויד כל כליו והם ישרתו וסביב למשכן יחנו ומנשוא המשכן יורידו אותו הלוויים ובחנות המשכן יקימו אותו הלוויים בזר קרב יומת חנו בני ישראל איש המחנהו ואיש על דגלו לצבאותם והלוויים יחנו סביב למשכן העדות ולא יהיה קצף על ידי בני ישראל שמרו הלוויים את משמר משכן העדות ויעשו בני ישראל ככל אשר ציווה אדוני את משה כן עשו.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan betoheinu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
We rise for Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ויאמר דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחיי כון ובימי כון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל מגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן יש מרבה מברך לעולם עולמי עולמי יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קדושה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בימה ויאמרו amen.
Please be seated.
And just a reminder now, as we prepare for Mia's bat mitzvah reading and her maftir, Aliyah, just a reminder to please do silence your cell phones.
Mia's reading is on page 785, verses 17 through 20.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe ve'el Aharon lemor. Al tachritu et shevet mishpechot hagachati mitoch havi'im vezot asu lahem v'chayu v'lo yamutu v'gishtam et kodesh hakodashim Aharon uvanav yavo'u v'sam'u otam ish al avodato ve'el masa'o ve'lo yavo'u lirot kevala et hakodesh v'metu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam natan betocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yamdu amag b'yavagolel.
To lift and dress the Torah, we have Uncles Jason Bush and Matt Lichtenstein. Please rise. Zol HaTorah Asher
Moshe לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני
And you may be seated. And now we're honored to have Mia give an opportunity. She's now given an opportunity to present her own interpretation of this week's Torah portion, as Mia will now present her Bat Mitzvah Devar Torah.
Shabbat Shalom to all my family and friends who are here to support me on my special day. I'm so grateful to each of you and so happy you're here. The title of my parsha is Bamidbar, which means into the wilderness. In this Torah portion, God commands Moses to create a census of all the tribes in the desert. They counted the number of soldiers because they are preparing to enter the promised land for battle. The Israelites then organized their troops by tribes and clans. Every man over the age of 20 who could bear arms was counted in this census. God told Moses not to include the Levites in this census or count them with the rest of the Israelites, as they were put in charge of faculties and maintenance of the tabernacle, rather than be allowed to fight. Why were those who were doing the labor not respected nor counted in the census? As I read this portion, I also noticed that women were not included in the census. I know this took place 3,200 years ago, so nobody thought it was appropriate for them to fight. As of the 21st century, it's much more common to see women fight in war along with men. I feel that the women and the Levites should have stood up for themselves. Today, women have more rights than they used to. There are many things that could have been done to help the Israelites fight, not just on the battlefield. In my life, in a volleyball game, the players are out on the court playing. But how would we be able to play if it weren't for our coaches, managers, or parents? They make sure we do our best out there. All people matter. We have a voice, a strong one, and we can make a difference one person at a time. For my Bat Mitzvah project, I was inspired by our new family pet, Bear. I raised money and collected food, treats, and toys for dogs in need at Houston Cares Animal Rescue. As a result, we raised more than $1,000, which was their largest monetary donation. On the weekends, I also volunteered to help dogs and cats find permanent homes. In addition to my mitzvah project, I also plan to participate in Rabbi Strauss's 10% plan for charitable giving by donating a portion of my monetary gifts to two organizations that represent the courage and bravery of both my grandfathers: the American Cancer Society in honor of my papa, and the Dementia Society of America in honor of my Poppy and Papa. I know you aren't here to celebrate with me in person today, but I know you've been watching me throughout this whole process. I miss you, and I know you're here with me every day. Now I'd like to thank some people who made this day possible: Rabbi Morgan, Miss Sachs, Mrs. Wadler, Rabbi Strauss, and Cantor Goldman. Thank you for helping me prepare for my special day. Becoming a Bat Mitzvah would not have been possible without you. I'm so grateful for all of your support. I want to thank my grandma Mimi for always putting a smile on my face. I love going shopping with you and when we spend time together. You spoil me so. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful to have you in my life. Thank you to my grandma Bubby for always giving me the best hugs. I know we don't live in the same city, but I always feel close to you. I love when you come to town and when we get to spend quality time together. I love you. And D, I don't even know what to say except you're the definition of me, but just a few years older. I vividly remember last year I would call you every day for help on schoolwork. You were the reason I didn't fail science class. We have the same taste and we think the same things. I'm so glad that you're here today to support me. Uncle Jason, I love listening to your jokes, even though I don't understand them at all. I enjoy talking about sports and when we play volleyball in your backyard. I love you. Aunt Wes and Uncle Matt, where can I begin? I love when we come to visit you in Austin. You're always so sweet. Aunt Wes, I especially want to thank you for always preparing the best food. You always are telling me to be positive and that I got this, which has given me the courage to be up here today. Uncle Matt, I love that whenever we visit, there's always some sort of sports competition. Basketball, tennis, and volleyball is always so much fun with you. Thank you guys for coming from Austin to support me today. To Scott, my godfather, Lindsay, Julie, and Dana, holidays and family dinners are the best with you guys. I cherish every moment we spend together. Special thanks to Dana for letting me steal all of her clothes and shoes. Scott and Lindsay, I love our summers in Aspen together. We always have the best time. Hikes and frozen yogurt runs with you guys are the best. I love y'all so much. To my sweetest, funniest cousins, Elia, Cole, Rowan, and Austin, I love spending time with you all. You guys are the most fun to be around. Whenever I need a laugh, I know who to call. I love y'all. Charlotte, I know you've been waiting for this part. I can't imagine living without you. You're the funniest, most energetic person. You always spread love and kindness wherever you go. Although you're 8, you're one of the most protective people I know, always asking where I'm going, who's going to be there, and when I'm going to be back. If I don't give you that information, I'm in trouble. I want to thank you for always giving me advice whenever I need it. Thank you for being such an awesome sister. I love you. Dad, I love when we have our daily conversations and when you take me on 9:30 p.m. dessert runs. Whether we're spending time together or just having a conversation about how school's going, it's always so much fun. Most of all, I want to thank you for being the best dad with the best advice. If I ask my mom a question, the answer is always go ask Dad. You're always there for me when I need you. When I grow up, I hope to be just like you, brilliant, caring, and successful. I love you so much. Mom, where can I even begin? Whenever I need help, I know it can always come to you. Whenever I need to talk or beg you to take me to Starbucks, you'll take me. Thank you so much for spending the past 2 years planning my special day. Also, thank you for letting me practice volleyball against your wall, even though the other side of that wall is your bedroom. I'm very surprised considering I broke the window, our old TV, the fan, and some lights. I would not be here today without you. Amazing is an understatement for you. You made sure today was the best day. I never could have imagined something to be this perfect. Your goal every day is to make me happy. You've done so much more. You've always shown so much love and kindness towards me and those around you. I love you so much. Lastly, I want to thank my family and friends for coming from their houses and from out of town, from Dallas, Fort Worth, Galveston, Austin, to Sacramento, Colorado, Washington, New York, and Miami. I'm so lucky to have you all in my life. I also want to thank my friends for coming to support me today. I'm so grateful for you and that you all are here. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
Mazel tov. So we also read, besides a selection from the 5 books of Moses, the Torah, we read a selection from the section of the Bible we call the prophets, Nevi'im. Normally there's a selection from the prophets that's related to the Torah portion. Occasionally the Jewish calendar intervenes and we read a special Haftarah. That's what happened this morning. So tomorrow is Rosh Chodesh, the new month. We're beginning a new month. And so because it's a new month tomorrow, we have a special Haftarah reading. So we're going to skip all the way to 1216 in the Eitz Chaim Chumashim, where we'll read the special Haftarah where tomorrow is Rosh Chodesh. And you'll read the first few verses in English, and you'll see exactly why this Haftarah was chosen, because it says, tomorrow will be the new moon. This is a story of palace intrigue. King Saul has a son named Jonathan, who he would like to have succeed the throne, but unfortunately there's this young upstart red-headed boy named David, who everybody likes. And unfortunately for Saul, Jonathan, his son, is very good friends with David. And so they support each other, and while Saul wants to kill David so that his son will become the king, Jonathan has a plan to save David's life. That's the story that we're going to read in a few seconds here. So page 1216, little palace intrigue.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzah v'divrechem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah V'Mashiach avda, v'Yisrael amo, v'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. V'yomer lo moshavecha v'shilashta terei me'od uvata el hamakom asher nistarta sham b'yom hama'aseh v'yavshavta etzel ha'evan ha'azel va'ani shloshecha chitzim tzida oret l'shalach li lematara v'hinei Eshlach et hana'ar lech mitzah et hakitzim imamor omar lanahar hinei hakitzim mimcha vaheina kaheinu vavoa ki shalom lecha ve'ein davar Hi Adonai, v'im ko omar la'elem, hinei hachitzim mimcha v'hala lech, ki shelachacha Adonai, v'hadavar asher dibarnu ani va'ata, Hinei Adonai Beini uvenecha Adolam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Tzor kol haolamim Tzadik bechol hadarot Ha'el ha'ne'eman Ha'omer ve'yoseh Hamdaber imkayem Shekol devarav emet v'tzedek Ne'eman atahu Adonai Eloheinu V'ne'emanim devarecha V'devarecha mivarecha Ahor lo yashuv rekam Ki hamelech ne'eman V'rachaman atah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el ha'ne'eman bechol devarav Rachem al Tzion ki hi beit hayenu V'la'aluv al nefesh toshia B'mheira ve'amenu Baruch atah Adonai Mesameach Tzion bevanecha Samcheinu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Eliyahu hanavi avdecha U'mahu beDavid meshichecha B'mheira yavo Ve'yagel libeinu Al kiso lo yeshev zar Ve'lo yinhalu od acherim et kivodo Ki v'shem kad shechan yishbat halo Shelo yikbenei ro le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Magen David Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh ve'shana talanun Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha Le'avod u'tifaret Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu Onachnu modim la U'mvarchim otah Yiparashim ha befi kol chai Tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat Amen
Siren tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siren tov, siren tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siren tov, siren tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siren tov. Yeilanu, 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 Elecho Yisrael. Yeilanu, yeilanu, Elecho Yisrael. David melech Yisrael.
All the children are welcome to come up, get some candy.
David Melech Yisrael, Chai v'kayam. Mazel tov. If you're under the age of bar mitzvah, come get free candy.
And we hope and pray that Mia knows many moments such as this, surrounded by people who love her, as the cantor recites a blessing of thanksgiving, our Shechianu blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu la'zman hazeh.
Blessed you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has kept us in life, sustained us, and allowed us to reach this very special day. And let us say, Amen. And now we call upon our congregational president, David Stein, to lead us in our prayer for the United States and Israel.
Almighty God on high, omnipotent King, look down from your heavenly abode and bless the United States of America. May our leaders strive to establish justice and opportunity for all, and may they be successful in bringing peace to the family of nations. May your favor rest upon our beloved state of Israel, its land, and all those who dwell therein. Protect Israel from war and hatred, and may our Jewish state bring comfort to those who seek refuge, light to those who dwell in darkness, and new hope to all humanity. We ask your blessings upon the valiant servicemen and women of the American military forces and the Israel Defense Forces, who risk their lives to protect the welfare of all your creation. Be their shelter and fortress, and do not allow them to falter. Fill their hearts with faith and courage. Protect them on land, in the air, and on the sea. Guide them in peace. Lead them toward peace, and return them speedily to their families alive and unharmed. And let us all together say, Amen.
All right, thank you, David. And tomorrow begins a new Jewish month, and so is the custom, the Shabbat before a new Jewish month. As we announce that, we had an opportunity to ask for God's blessings upon the new month. And so the cantor will now lead us in the Birkat HaChodesh, and we rise, page 180.
רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו, ואלוהי אבותינו, שתקדש עלינו את החודש הבא לטובה, לטובה, ולברכה, ותיתן לנו חיים ארוכים, חיים של שלום, ותיתן לנו חיים ארוכים, חיים של ברכה. חיים של פרנסה, חיים, חיים שיש בהם יראת שמיים ויראת חטא, חיים shamayim chayim
May God wrought miracles for our ancestors, redeeming them from slavery to freedom, redeem us soon, and gather our dispersed from the four corners of the earth. And may the entire people of Israel be united in friendship, and let us say Amen.
שעשה ניסים לאבותינו וגאל אותם מעבדות לחירות, הוא יגאל אותנו בקרוב ויקבץ ניחנו מעבר כנפות הארץ. חברים, חברים, אל כל ישראל ונאמר אמן. ראש חודש סיוון יהיה ביום ראשון הבא עלינו ועל כל ישראל לטובה. יחד שהוא קדוש ברוך הוא עלינו ועל כל עמו בית ישראל לחיים ושלום, לששון ולשמחה, לישועה ולנחמה ונאמר אמן.
May the new month of Sivan, which contains the holiday of Shavuot, will begin tonight and tomorrow. And may it hold blessing for us and for the entire people Israel. And may the Holy One bless this new month for us and for the entire people of the house of Israel with life and peace, joy and gladness, deliverance and consolation. And let us say, Amen. And you may be seated. And we turn the page 181, and we're honored to call upon Zoe Newman, who will be having her bat mitzvah 2 weeks from today, to lead us in the Ashrei, found on page 181.
Ashrei yoshvei beitecha, od yaluka selah. Tehillah leDavid, aramim ka'Elohai hamelech, v'avracha shimcha le'olam va'ed. Gadol Adonai hu almeov, v'lig dulato ein heker. Hadar kevod hodecha, v'davrei niflotecha asicha. Zeherav tu hayabiyu, Betzidkat hayaranenu. Tov Adonai lakol, v'rakamav v'kol ma'asav. Kevod malchut kayomeru, uvurat yadaberu. Malhut kol amim, umem shult ka bekol dor Vatanu Telehem Eto Combuto. Sadi Karunai Bekol Diracha, Yasid Bekol Masaf. Ritson Yerav Yaaseh, Ve'ed Shavatam Yishmav Yoshiem. Tehilat Adonai Yadever Pi, Vivarek Kol Basar Shem Kodsho Leon Ba'em. Kanak Nun and Varek Yah, Me'atar Yahuam. Hallelujah.
What a beautiful day this has been for Brian and Jessica as they've seen Mia become a bat mitzvah. Now, before the open ark, they offer their parents' prayers. Please rise.
Dear God, thank you for the gift that is our beautiful daughter, Mia Blair, my girl who made me a mom almost 13 years ago. When I look at her, I see bravery, strength, maturity, and grace from the inside out. I see a young lady who is wise beyond her years, who sees the world from a unique perspective and has the capability to do anything she sets her mind to. I see a soul that is deep, so special, giving, and loving to those lucky enough to receive her. Mia is a very special young lady. I pray that Mia finds a life that's full of meaning, tikkun olam, and gratitude, even for the smallest of things. May Mia carry on the traditions and values of the Torah that bind her to you, O God. May Mia remember to keep her family close, cherish those who love her, and return the adoration to those who surround her. May she always speak the truth, be honest to herself and others, no matter what challenges life brings her way. May our daughter always dance through life, with a smile so big and a laugh and humor so true. May Mia always be curious, ask good questions as she does, and stand with conviction. May she find the beauty in everyday things, a beautiful sunset, a full moon, and birds singing. As she grows, may Mia's bond with her sister always be strong, and may they always have each other's backs no matter what. May her grandfathers, Thomas and Michael, who are angels watching over her today, be by her side forever and always. May her life be full of peace, love, and good health, and may God watch over her and bless her for eternity. Amen.
Amen. Dear God, thank you and all those now with you, those who are no longer with us and have left this world, for the blessing that is our daughter Mia. We gather here to celebrate a significant milestone in the life of Mia, as she becomes a bat mitzvah. I am so blessed to be able to see her every morning and realize how truly lucky Jessica and I are to know what is love and beauty inside and out. I pray that Mia strives to be in the light of your eyes and is blessed with a long life full of purpose, love, and friendship. I pray that Mia's life be filled with laughter and joy. Times of sadness, which I hope are few, please bestow upon her fortitude to see through those times, to move past those times, and make her way to peace and joy. Down, may you raise her up. When she is scared, may you bring her courage. When she is alone, may you bring her companionship. Mia, throughout your preparation for this day, you have delved into the teachings of Judaism, exploring its rich history, values, and principles. You have studied the Torah, timeless lesson it imparts. Your dedication, discipline, and eagerness to learn have brought you to this moment of celebration. However, becoming a bat mitzvah is not just about fulfilling your religious obligations. It is about embracing the essence of Judaism and incorporating its teachings into your daily life. As you stand on the threshold of adulthood, remember the values that have been instilled in you: compassion, kindness, justice, and respect. These values will guide you, not just in your relationship with God, but in your interactions with others and in the choices you will make. As you embark on this new chapter, remember the importance of community, that Judaism places great emphasis on the and in our community. Embrace your role as a member of the Jewish community, both locally and globally. Get involved, contribute your unique talents, and make positive impact on those around you. Your journey is the nation, but a lifetime of growth and self-discovery. It is a stepping stone towards the future filled with endless possibilities and opportunities. Remain open-minded, curious, and eager to explore the world around you. We love you, Mia. Amen.
And now, L'Ador Vador, from generation to generation, the Sefer Torah and all its teachings are passed down to our bat mitzvah, Mia.
Yeah, hallelujah, Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado, hodo al eretz v'shamayim, vayarem ke'eren li'amor, tehillah lechol chasidov, lifnei Israel am kerovor. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
You may be seated.
Oh, Lord. Got a competition over here. Shabbat Shalom. As a high schooler, in my confirmation class, we read Night by Elie Wiesel. This is his very harrowing, emotional, true account of his survival through multiple Nazi camps, forced marches, near-fatal illness. It's a short book, but it's a very stark book. And we were only in 10th grade. That book shook us. And we were better for it. In 8th grade, Hebrew school, we each got a copy of Mouse. That's Art Spiegelman's graphic novel of his father's survival in Europe during the Holocaust. Now you might think, oh, it was like a comic book. It was, mostly illustrated, very few words. Might be a softer land of that kind of thing. But his depiction of his father and his family's fragmentation, betrayal, destruction, it was almost easier to grasp because it was conveyed to us through pictures. We were 13 years old. That book shook us. And we were better for it. In public school, 7th grade, we read excerpts from the Diary of Anne Frank. I was just shocked to discuss in the classroom with few, if any, other Jewish kids, something that was so personal for me and just a sad oddity of history for them. I remember this is burned in my memory. This one kid saying, "It doesn't seem real." And I didn't know what to say. But I didn't have to say anything because we were 12 years old and our only job was to read that book, a book which shook us, and we were all better for it. And if I asked you what these 3 books have in common, you could say they're all about the Holocaust, which is true, or that we usually read them when we're kids or young adults. This is also true. But that's not the most recent thread that binds them. It's that all 3 of these books, Night, Mouse, The Diary of Anne Frank, have all been banned in recent years from schools and libraries around the country. Everywhere from Tennessee to Florida, from Pennsylvania to right here in Texas and beyond, which is offensive to us as a people and worrisome on a number of levels. We Jews are called the people of the book. Our love for them is renowned. Now, usually when people say that, they mean the Torah as the book, but we just kind of love books in general, I think, as Jews. I think we really love learning, opening ourselves up to the world and to each other, learning and sharing about ourselves, hearing each other's stories. There's something divine about it. Our dedication to learning and books is almost holy. And to close oneself off to that is so antithetical to who we are as Jews. The seeds of that are planted way, way early in our people's story, our people's book, if you will. This Shabbat, we begin reading the book of Numbers, or Bamidbar in Hebrew, the book of the Torah that begins, Vayedeber Adonai el Moshe Bamidbar, meaning God spoke to Moses, Bamidbar, in the wilderness. Which is a little weird. You might be saying, okay, yeah, Rabbi, okay, God spoke to Moses in the wilderness, like, stop the presses. Obviously, God spoke to Moses in the wilderness. That's where they were. Which is true. Remember the Passover story? A couple books of the Torah ago? The children of Israel were slaves, and they were free. They get free, and they trek through the desert, the wilderness. Their promised land is in the distance, 40 years in the future, so they trek through the desert forever. Many trials and tribulations along the way. They even get the Torah while they're out there. They get the Torah in the wilderness, so it wasn't all bad. So yes, obviously you're thinking, even at this point in the story, they're still going to be in the wilderness, duh. But there it is. That's the part that should make you go, huh, wait a minute. If they've been in the wilderness pretty much the whole time, it is obvious that that's where God is talking to Moses. God's pretty much always talking to Moses in the wilderness, so why is the Torah bothering to point that out? Remember, the Torah operates on what we call an economy of words. There's no wasted words in the Torah. Whether you think it was written by the literal God with Moses' literal hand, or it's a piece of literature that our people have worked on for thousands of years, either way it's been refined. There are only necessary words in the Torah. They're there for a reason. So it begs the question, why does it bother specifying in the wilderness when it is so obvious that this is where this conversation is taking place? This sounds like a setup for a bad joke. Two rabbis in the Talmud are having an unrelated argument. One, he's mad at the other guy. He thinks he's going to make him look kind of dumb. And so he says, oh, if you're so clever, how do you answer that question? What does it mean, Bamidbar in the wilderness? If you're so smart, answer me that. So the other guy thinks, and he says, Oseh Adam et atzmo kamidbar. A person who makes themselves kamidbar, like a wilderness, shehu mufkar lechol, open to all, Torah nitlalo. The Torah is given to them. Nachalo el, and they rise to greatness. The Talmud, the ancient Talmud, wanted us to know that it is only by opening ourselves up, mufkar lechol, open to all, that we gain wisdom and understanding. Not just any understanding, Torah level understanding. That's God kind of knowledge there. So it's an element of holiness in there too. And not just that. But when we open ourselves up, so the Talmud teaches, Nachalo el, when we open ourselves up to others, it is then that we achieve greatness. And so, the rabbis also teach the opposite must be true. When we close ourselves down to others, this is a place where holiness cannot dwell. And then you'll never be great. The rabbis of the Talmud, almost 2,000 years ago, not Sarah the rabbi of 6 years ago, our ancient sages were exhorting us to remember that we are at our very best when we are open to others, to learning from them. And in doing so, we learn Torah. We learn truth with a capital T. The real stuff. The important stuff. Our Torah and Talmud, our foundational, fundamental Jewish texts, our books, are taking the greatest of pains to tell us of the power of being open to the tapestry of humanity and hearing the fullness of each other's stories, and also the danger of doing the opposite. I think that's why the idea of banning books is so antithetical to Jewish ears. We know, deep down in our kishkas, we know that the best way to know God, to be godly, is to open ourselves up to the experience of all of God's people, not cover our eyes to them, or worse, blind our children and our youth to them. No good can come of preventing children, especially non-Jewish children who don't know us, from learning our people's greatest tragedy in modern times. That kid in my 7th grade class who said of Anne Frank in disbelief, "It can't be real." What if he never had that experience in his formative years, made it all the way through to adulthood, thinking the Holocaust was just too terrible to be believed? As hard as it was for him to swallow, he was better for it. No good can come of any of our youth being blinded to the experience of any of God's children, of every kind under the sun, because there are so very many of us. And we only become better from learning from each other, not worse. In my high school lit class, I read The Color Purple. That is not an easy book to read. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. It's not easy. That is a book that shakes you. It does not shy away from big topics of race, and gender, sexuality. We read it in 11th grade because they felt we were old enough to handle these mature topics. That didn't bother me as much as when we read the Book of Revelations in 12th grade, frankly. You know, unlike The Color Purple, there was no opt-out alternative reading for that. It was just required. And no, The Color Purple did not cover any experiences that I, as an Ashkenazi Jewish kid, had any firsthand knowledge of. And it was not a warm and fuzzy read. But I don't think all books are meant to be warm and fuzzy, like a comforting cup of cocoa, sweet with extra marshmallows. Some are. But maybe some are meant to be white hot, to shock you with their fire and burn you with their rage, like so many books about oppressed people, ours included. Our books that are under attack even today. School years are meant to be for expanding the mind, and our libraries to be warehouses of ideas. And to take that away from the next generation is to do them a terrible disservice. As Jews, we know the power of the book, the power of the knowledge and the wisdom that comes in if only you remain open to it, and the greatness that follows. It's not for nothing we've survived 5,000 years, rise and fall, extermination and diaspora. We're still here. Am Yisrael Chai, the Jewish people live, still listening, still learning, and still open to all the goodness that comes with it. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Rabbi Ford, for a very important message. And now we're ready to begin our last part of our service, the Musaf section. We rise, page 184.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה קירותי ומליך מלכותי, בחיי כל ויום אחד, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב ויאמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם עולמי המאיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתגדל ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשו. בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא ויאמרו אמן.
And we continue now together, page 185.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אלוהיון, כומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות, ומביא גואל לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. הקדישים, שמך בקודש, ילי לי 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 לי, כך כתוב על יד נביאך, ילי לי 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 לי, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו, כבודו מלא עולם, משרתיו שואלים זה לזה, איה מקום כבודו, לעומתם ברוך יאמרו, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו, ממקומו הוא יפן ברחמים, ויכון עם המייחדים שמו. ערב ובוקר בכל יום תמיד, ערב ובוקר בכל יום תמיד, פעמיים באהבה שמה אומרים, שמה ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו, והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו, שנית לעיני כל חי. הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו, והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו, שנית לעיני כל חי. להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ובדברי קודשך כתוב לאמור, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, כי המלך גדול, מלך גדול, וקדוש אתה. לדור ודור
now continue silently, page 188 through page 192. And as you finish your prayers, you may be seated as the cantor continues the Kaddish Shalom, page 203.
יתקרא ויתקרא שמי רבה, בעלמתי ורקירותי, ומליך מלכותי, בחייכון ומכון בחייך בית ישראל, בגלה בזמן קריב ומרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם עולם מעמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמי קודשה. בריחו לילה מן קובר חצה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן מעלמה ואמרו, אמן. תתקבץ לא תהון ובתוכו ישראל, קודם אבון וישמעיה ואמרו, אמן. יהי שלום הרבה מן שמעיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו, אמן.
Ein Keloheinu, ein Kadonenu, ein Kimmalkeinu, ein Kimoshienu, mi Keloheinu, mi Chadonenu, mi Kimmalkeinu, mi Kimoshienu, no delalonenu, no deladonenu, no delikmalkeinu, lo del Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shiktiru, Avotenu, Lefaneha, Ektorah.
Mia, you stay right here. So Mia, Mazel Tov, and a beautiful bat mitzvah this morning. Very proud of you, and I know how proud your parents and everyone here is of the wonderful job you've done this morning. And in celebration of Great Simcha, we're happy to present you some wonderful gifts. A beautiful tzedakah box from our Beth Yisrael Sisterhood, a Kiddush cup from 100 Jewish men, also a gift certificate to a local kosher restaurant. So we remind all our families of how blessed we are to have so many good kosher restaurants here in Houston. A gift certificate to our Jewish Community Center, a $100 State of Israel bond, courtesy AI and Manette Shep's Israel Bonding Fund, and a certificate of bat mitzvah. We hope you'll enjoy these gifts and use them often. So Mia, it's an honor for me to be up here with you today. I did your naming 13 years ago, and we are neighbors. So I've literally seen you grow up. And I've seen you grow up to be this wonderful young woman that I know brings so much happiness to the many people who love you. And I see it out here in the audience today with your parents and your sister and your grandmothers, uncles, aunts, cousins, many close friends. We're all extremely proud of the mature, intelligent, and thoughtful young lady you've become. You make us all extremely happy. You have many good characteristics that bring a lot of pride to the many people who love you. Like your papi, you're honest, empathetic, and have that great sense of humor. That brings a lot of joy. With your quick wit and wonderful smile, you also adore your family. And you do love your sister, your young sister, more than you sometimes want to admit. But you like to help her with her homework, and you're also very close with your parents as well. But your favorite living being at home is your dog Bear, who I know has changed your family in many ways, in many more ways they sometimes want to count. And you also enjoy time with your many friends, hanging out at home or walking Rice Village in circles. And you have that soft spot in your heart for those in need, for those who are disabled or the homeless, often showing compassion and care. And you're also strong and brave. And you stand up for yourself and for others, and you're not afraid to do what is right and what you believe in. And that's an important trait that I know will stick with you for many years to come. In school, you work hard. You're determined and focused like your papa. You've always been described by your teacher as an old soul, able to relate and understand situations beyond your years. And you can speak with classmates and adults alike and get along with people of all ages. You also enjoy sports, especially volleyball and tennis. You were a setter for your team at Emory this past fall, and you're looking forward to another successful season next year for 8th grade on the volleyball team. And in the summers, you enjoyed doing COIJ for 5 years, and this summer you'll continue with tennis and volleyball lessons and camps and continue your great athletic skills. And sports allows you to grow as a person, as you told me, take a nice break from all the busyness that you do. And you're also adventurous. You love the Colorado mountains, paddleboarding in the lakes, and all that nature has to offer. And most importantly for today, you love being Jewish. You enjoy holiday customs and being part of your school community as a 7th grader at Emory Wiener. And I recently asked you, as you reminded me to ask you, what does this all mean to become a bat mitzvah? And you told me, Rabbi, it's about becoming a greater part of the Jewish community. And I feel more connected now doing this to my heritage and culture. And I look forward to continuing to grow in my Judaism. And as I reminded you, it's why your parents have done all they've done. And they send you now to a Jewish school, all the activities they got you involved with, camp, and all the Jewish activities they do at home. And so it's all part now of being part of the Jewish people. And now it's up to you. And I think our Torah portion is an important reminder to that all. As I mentioned earlier, why do we count? Why do we need a count of all the people that were part of our people way long ago? It's a reminder to us that each of us individuals count for something. Each of us, every single Jew especially, has something to give to the world. And the great thing about you, Mia, is you're this great kid that I know will serve as a good representative of our people. When you encounter non-Jewish friends or people in volleyball and tennis camps or wherever else you may go, you're a good kid who brings a lot of happiness to other people, but you also know a lot about your tradition. You're proud to be Jewish. You are important to our people. There's a reason why each of us are counted, and especially we're reminded of that lesson today. There's a reason why we need Mia Labich to be part of the Jewish people. So continue to learn, continue to grow as a Jewish woman, and continue to bring a lot of honor and love to the many people who adore you. Mazel tov, Mia, on a beautiful job today. I'm very proud as your rabbi and as your neighbor this morning. And now, before the open ark, the cantor and I are honored to bless Mia with the priestly blessings. Please rise. May Mia continue to bring pride and honor to her family, the community, and the entire house of Israel. May God always bless you and keep you. May God always show you his favor and be gracious to you. May God always show you kindness and give you that gift of shalom, the gift of peace always. And let us say, Amen. And now we continue with the Lenu on page 205.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol la'teit gedula le'otzer breshit shelo asanu kegoyeh ha'aratzot velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama shelo samhalkenu kahem v'goraleinu kechol hamonam Anaknu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamalchim hakadosh baruch hu shechunot hashamayim veyoser haaretz umoshev bekarok bashamayim ima'al ushvinat uzov Bigov Haim Lebromim Hu Eloheinu Einod Emet Malkeinu Efesu Ato Kagatu V'Torayato Yadat HaYom V'Chashavota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim Bashamayim imal ve'al haaretz ve'al mitach ha'einod v'nemar ve'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad.
Now we invite all those in mourning to remain standing for the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, page 207. Yitzgadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah v'yamad divrach yirutei v'yamlik machutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayeh dekol beit Yisrael v'agalav v'zman kari v'yimru amen Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach leolam omei amaya Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitzba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudusha b'rechu Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tishbechata v'nechemata, na'amiram bi'alma v'yimru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. And you may be seated. Just two announcements I'm going to share with you. We have a big week here at Beth Yeshurun. First upcoming Thursday night begins the holiday of Shavuot, and we have two programs. Shavuot is the holiday that traditionally we commemorate for the receiving of the Torah on Mount Sinai 3,000 years ago. And so the rabbis gave us the custom centuries ago to study Torah as a memory of that. And so at Beth Yeshurun, this upcoming Thursday night, it's beginning at 7 p.m., we'll be hosting not only the clergy of Beth Yeshurun, but those of Beth Israel, Brit Shalom, and Emmanuel, all of the rabbis and cantors of all those synagogues. All of us will have an opportunity to teach classes and study sessions and inspiring pieces of Torah the entire night from 7 o'clock to midnight. And so if you ever wanted to learn from all the rabbis that you know in Houston, come this Thursday night here at Beth Yeshurun, and an opportunity you could stay as long as you like, beginning at 7 p.m. But if you do stay to the very end, we'll have a special ice cream bar and cheesecake, the custom eating dairy on Shavuot at the end of the night. And then on Saturday will be the second day of Shavuot, which is also Yizkor. And so that's an opportunity to come and of course, bring blessings to those that we've lost, as we do 4 times a year with Yizkor, and that will be Saturday morning, followed by our annual Blintz Brunch. And to bring you up a few days, tomorrow is also a very big day here at Congregation Beth Yeshurun. We have our annual meeting beginning at 6 o'clock tomorrow. There's still reservations available. And this is also not only an opportunity to learn how the shul's doing and to learn a little bit more of the future of our congregation, but most importantly this year, it's to celebrate the incredible presidency of our outgoing president, David Stein. So Dave will have an opportunity to honor you tomorrow evening, to thank David for all that he's done, and to welcome our new president, Lori Herzog. So we'd love to see all of you tomorrow at 6 p.m., and if you'd like to stay for the dinner, please do go to our website and RSVP. The dinner will be immediately after the business section of our annual meeting tomorrow at 6 p.m. here in the Friedman Levitt Sanctuary. And again, I want to wish Mazel Tov to Mia and her proud parents, to Brian and Jessica, and to Charlotte and all her family that are here. What a beautiful bar mitzvah that we've had. And now I'd like to call upon all of Mia's friends and classmates, her cousins, to come up to the bima and to help her lead the Adon Olam, which is found in our prayer books on page 211, followed by the Kiddush and Hamotzi. And after our service today, we're all invited to a beautiful Shabbat lunch in the Pulaski Rouch Auditorium. Please rise for the Kiddush and Hamotzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, everyone.